Good afternoon. This is Staff Sergeant Andrews with the Kindersley RCMP, here with your Kindersley quarterly report. It's a little bit different than the monthly mayors, as at the end of the quarters, we'll do a full report of how it's gone for the last 3 months. So there won't be a March, as this will be included in it. Before we get into that, I'm going to go over with a special announcement. As of recent, as some of the public might know, in Kindersley, there has been some graffiti as well with some offensive terms. What I can say is, thanks to the help of the public and the community, we have identified the suspect, and he's going to be dealt with the Youth Criminal Justice Act. And that will be dealt with and fixed on that end. We will not be releasing the person's name, is because this person is a youth. But we really appreciate all the community's help in identifying this and making sure that this gets stopped and fixed. So again, appreciated that. That has been dealt with. There has been some reports of bear spray, but this was not in this area. We haven't had any reports of that, so there's no risk to the public in that meantime, and the graffiti should stop. In the event, though, this doesn't stop and there's more reports, please don't be afraid to call the Kindersley RCMP. Again, with our crime tips, it's important that you call us even for the little of things, as sometimes we may not be able to actually solve that day. But if we notice a trend, we can set up some special investigations in order to make you guys safe as well as the residents. With that said, your crime tip for the quarter is, please lock your doors. Please make sure you lock your vehicles as well. Make sure that you keep your vehicles in well-lit areas, if not possible. Again, like we said in previous reports, if you can get some type of automatic sensor to help light up that area, that'd be greatly beneficial, and you can use that with batteries and stuff. So again, the tip is, please make sure to lock your vehicles. Don't leave your keys in the vehicle. Also, make sure we don't leave valuables in our vehicle. We make it easier for people and criminals to steal our stuff. So again, keep your doors locked at your house. Make sure that you keep your vehicles locked and keep valuables out of the area. That'll be our tip for the quarter. As well as, don't be afraid to call 911 for any issues in regards to property theft or property related. Although you might seem it's small and we might not be able to solve it right there and then, again, this helps us to allocate hotspots to make sure they keep the community safe. So with that said, I'm going to get into the quarterly report. This is the fourth quarter, so that's January, February, and March. During that time, one of our priorities, as per your council and speaking with residents, is community engagement. So with that said, my members in the last 3 months have done 46 proactive patrols, either before or after school. Again, you've seen numerous videos about this. This is to make sure that our young ones are safe, as we've been received reports about speeding and going through stop signs. I've sent videos explaining what not and what to do, and what I can say is that I would like to thank the residents. I've seen a huge improvement. I've yet to see in the last month or so a vehicle go through a stop sign of a school bus, nor some speeding. So let's keep this up. School's almost over. Let's keep our young ones safe. We did 8 actual school visits in the area of Kindersley. This is where we're actually inside your school, whether that's for a presentation or just for a walkthrough. That way we can better engage with your youth, as well as keep your youth safe in the event of something more major happening. We also did 6 presentations. So we did a bullying talk at your high school. You might have heard from your young ones in high school that they spoke to our officers about the dangers of bullying, as well as the fact that there actually is a bylaw where bullying, there actually is a ticketable offense for $500. I think that went very well, and I think the students and your young people were very well received to that. Just make sure at home you're talking to your children about what we say to other people can cause a lot of negative aspects, and obviously to be kind to one another, especially with social media. We need to make sure we keep track of our young ones on social media, not only that they're being safe, but that they're being respectful, so that we don't cause any undue harm to our other young people or other people in the area. We also did a bullying talk in the middle school. We did an internet safety talk to your entire middle school as well. There was also, I believe, a school one that was done as well as an internet consent talk to your high school. We also, at one point when we were doing, you'll see usually myself and another member checking for speed and stuff at your school stops. We actually have one of our members actually take part in one of the school crossings. I also wanted to say, don't be afraid to thank the little ones who are helping out there, doing a great job, making sure that everyone is safe when they're walking across the schools. It's a pretty awesome thing. Those young ones are volunteering, as well as those teachers, especially when it's really cold. We also did an anti-fraud presentation at one of your senior living home to make sure that we can keep them better prepared and prevent online fraud. With that said, remember, Don't give your personal information over the phone. Don't send deposits when it comes to Facebook and anything to that matter. If you're going to buy things, see it in person. Make sure you can confirm it's that in person. Perfect example, there's been cases in my previous experience, not here specifically, where a person has taken a photo of someone's vehicle and said it was for sale, took a deposit, and that was a fraudulent, and they never got their money back or found out who that person was. So again, for buying things online, I would show up, see it in person, as whenever you're sending a deposit for something, you're risking your financial through e-transfer. Don't send deposits. The other thing was visibility patrol. So that's in your town of Kindersley. There were 65 visibility. This is just us patrolling, not going to calls. Just make sure to keep the residents safe, as well as that you can see us out there. Major events that we have participated in, we were there at your curling championship in January, as well as we were at some hockey games, as well as the Kindersley Job Fair. We really like to thank your high school students. They're very appreciative and very helpful when they came to see what it's like to be an RCMP member. Again, if there's any residents or anyone interested in being an RCMP member, please come to our local office as we can give you a tour and help you get set up, because we are hiring, and you get to work in this beautiful province of Saskatchewan. With that said, community programs, we continue with our community programs. One of them is by video, as you know, when you see me. This way we can keep our residents as up to date as possible with what's going on, as well as with crime tips if there's any issues or concerns that we want the residents to know about. This will continue for the foreseeable future. Crime reduction. During those 3 months, we did have 13 reported property theft. 4 of them were unfounded. What is unfounded? Let's just say I said that my wallet was stolen, and it turns out I just misplaced my wallet and it wasn't stolen. That would become something considered as unfounded. We had 5 of those 13 that were unsolved. That's with lack of evidence. So again, with our crime tips, please, cameras is very helpful for us. Make sure that you can get some good quality ones. You can go on any one of those websites, and I found some cameras for about 40 to 50 bucks that are pretty good high definition. Remember, well-lit areas. Make sure that we're keeping our things locked. And another tip is, remember, if you're leaving for a vacation, don't let the whole world know. And I would recommend those little timers for your lights, so the lights will come off and on every once in a while. That way people don't know that you're gone and they assume that you're there. Remember, prevention, we want to make it less easy access for these people to go into our property and steal our things. 4 of them were solved of those. Hotspot and night patrols. Again, so as stated before, it's really important that the residents to report any suspicious activity or property theft, as although we might not always solve it, it helps us pick and allocate hotspots. Hotspots are areas where high crime areas where we've seen continual reported. This has helped us with our recent in March, where we had that large drug seizure of $10,000 worth of drugs, as well as it's helped us in one of our communities of Robert with one of our prolific property offenders. So please, again, if you know of an area or an issue, don't be afraid to call us and make a report. 152 offender and curfew checks. What this means is, in the event someone is charged with an offense, before they go to trial, they're put on curfew conditions, or if they've been convicted and have probation, they have conditions. We make sure that they're abiding by the conditions so we can help prevent any further crime for our residents. So we did 152 of those. These are all crime reduction measures. Drugs, we had 36 source intel reports. Again, remember, that all police forces use sources. Sources are highly protected. We never disclose them. So if you have any information that you believe will be helpful, especially in relates to drugs or fentanyl, give us a call and we could see if that you qualify for us to be in our source program. Again, we continue to do that and use that as an avenue to keep our residents safe. Search warrants, we did 2 search warrants. One were resulting in that $10,000 worth of drugs that was taken, and this was reported on our previous video, but this happened during the quarter, which was in March. Traffic, 108 vehicles were checked for sobriety. As you know, we've had random check stops, especially at the curling championship. We were in residents. Again, all we want you guys to do is to get home safe. So during that, we had 4 proactive actually impairs, where we kept the public safe from impaired drivers. Again, don't drink and drive. Get a ride home if you need it. It's not worth it. You may not just be risking your life, but it could be a family of 4 coming home from a hockey game or something to that effect that gets hit by someone who decided to drink and drive. So again, please, if you're drinking, don't drive. Be safe. With that as well, during those 3 months, the Kindersley RCMP had a total of 831 calls for service. 792 of those calls were in your area of Kindersley. This includes the highway and some of the surrounding RMs. And major events, like I said before, we had that $10,000 worth of coke seizure from some drug dealers, and we continue to work on operations in and around your area to keep the residents safe, as we want to keep drugs off our streets so our kids can be safe. As well as we are continuing with our school implementation of school traffic control, which will continue to the end of the school year. I believe we'll be also participating in the impaired driving event that's in partnership with the fire department. With that said, that would be our report for the quarter. I would also like to thank the fire department of Kindersley for inviting our officers to their gala. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend, but we did have some officers before they had an emergency. And again, if there's any issues or concern, don't be afraid to call the Kindersley RCMP detachment. This is our community, and we want to make sure you guys are safe and be up front as possible. Have a great day, and that'll be the end of the Kindersley report and crime tips.